want to take all your beer from you. There's only a couple left.
What do you mean take all my beer? Those are our beers. Our beer?
Sure.
Beer. Beer. Beers.
It's not like I have to leave enough for you to get drunk every time.
And it's not like you can't make a trip down to the thing if you want another beer.
Yeah.
Wowzers. Sit right on that chair's face. Chair don't know. Chair don't know. Had a moment earlier scrolling through these YouTube live, whatever the fuck, shorts things. I'm going through and I was like chilling. I was like looking at a couple seconds of each stream. And I found myself as I was scrolling, the more I scrolled, the more I wanted to type something stupid to get the person to like say something about it.
You felt you related with the chat a little bit.
I felt the pull of like, ooh, this person is weird as fuck. I want to say something to them. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'd scroll away. And the next person, I'd be like, man, I bet I could really get this person's goat if I said this. Nah. And I was like, damn. It's probably what people do to you. I know. I feel bad, though, because I've been really, like, heavily judging people for it. But my ass is no different. My ass wants to fucking garner that attention too, I guess. It's okay. I'm still gonna be pissed off. I'm still gonna be mad about it, but at least now I understand it a little better. It was wild though. Just people like doing their own thing. There was a black dude that was like roasting his chat. There was like a teenage girl and their mom, and they were like cooking something in the kitchen. You know? It's just an odd thing that people are sharing these like candid things about their life. Oh, yeah. No, I am innately trollish, yeah. I think it's the human condition, simply wanting interaction in some form. You're probably right. Probably right about that. It's just interesting to me, that impulse. You know, it's like, whoa, I can just scroll, and these are just like average people sitting there, and I can say shit to them, and there's nothing that they can do about it really, other than ban me. Whoa, like the pull was there. You know what I mean? The pull to do that was there for me. It's like this person, right? Avada Kedavra, are you a wizard, right? It's probably the 90,000th person that said that to me, but here he is. You know what I mean? And I mentioned it, so he gets a point, right? And then the one that like really is wild to me is the people that are playing video games in this format. They've got it set up and they're streaming a video game on a tiny little sub window, and you can barely see what's going on in the game. Is this a conspiracy theory channel? No.
People take your name way too literally sometimes.
What? Like, wow.
Channel name.
But why would that be conspiracy? Poltergeist?
Well, someone thought you were a ghost hunt channel. So
That's
that could
true.
be conspiracy adjacent.
Maybe I should just do some whack-ass ghost hunts. That might be fun one night to do a ghost hunt, though. I don't have any of the, I would need to get, like, a couple pieces of technology, probably. Probably want to get, like, an EMF detector. See if any electromagnetic fields pass by. I'd probably want to get, like, some sort of, like, digital thermometer, so that I could tell if it got real cold.
You gotta have some black light.
Do you need black lights?
Might be fun.
Yeah, it might be. It would look ghosty to do it. And we could just tell them that it's like some other thing, you know? It'd be like, this
Well,
is...
I mean, like, that would be like a clue. Like, oh, there's a blood stain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, get a fog machine. Yeah. Just put a sheet over Dinor. Yeah, have him run through the picture. Ah!
Oh, that is my little profile thing, Spoopy D.
Yeah, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. Are you outside? Yeah. Did you see the video of the dogs dressed as pandas at the zoo? No, they didn't do that. They didn't dress no dog up like a panda. You need to trespass on abandoned property. All the best ones do that. Yeah, I know. I'm fine with trespassing a little bit. I'm down to cop a trespass charge or two for the ghost hunt. Will it be a spooky DFF Halloween this year? I think so, yeah. I think it's going to be spooky as fuck.
Probably not on Halloween proper.
No.
That's TJ's anniversary.
The Tournament of Terror. Paul, I'm not sing. Dude, quit asking me to sing Amazing Grace, homie. Quit. It's like the 5th time you've asked, and I'm trying to ignore you. Just quit. Oof. I have to work on Halloween, yeah. I always had to work on every holiday was a work day for me. Except for Christmas. Back when I used to work for the school district, I got Christmas every year, which was nice. And I think Christmas morning is the only day that Starbucks wasn't open. It was open 364 days a year. Pretty sure Christmas morning is the only time that they didn't open Starbucks, and that's over now. I'd imagine they probably do. They probably run Starbucks all fucking year, I would imagine.
That was the only day, or they had Amazon closed 2 days of the year, Christmas and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they would let us out early on Thanksgiving. They'd still make us show up, so it's like trying to make plans on Thanksgiving. Like, I might be able to come.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
garbage. Who are you hiding from in the dark? There's no dark. There's a light right there.
It's just the sun is down.
Yeah, it turns out that like the sun goes down over the curvature of the earth, and then now it's like I'm on the shadowy side of the earth, you see. And there's no sunlight on the shadowy side of the earth. And then this crazy fucking thing will happen around 5:30 tomorrow morning. The sun will come up. Why does Starbucks open so early? Who gets coffee at 4:30 a.m.? Way more people than you think.
There's a lot of people that,
It's a lot of.
got to start to start.
There's a lot of jobs that start at 5:30 in the morning. There's a lot of people that commute a couple hours a day, and so they're leaving at 4:30 in the morning so they can get to work by 7 in the morning. So yeah, a lot of people. Like sometimes, we'd get to Starbucks at 4 in the morning to get open by 4:30 or 5, and by the time we were ready to open, there was a line of cars already lined up in the drive-thru ready to fucking order. 5 or 6 people already waiting for their coffee, so. Nida Joe. Joel. I don't know why they taught me porridge. They must eat a lot of porridge in China.
I think that's their like default breakfast.
Is it porridge?
Yeah, instead of cereal.
Nida Joel. Joel. And soup is tang. When I was the first lesson, I was learning those, and I would get tang and cha mixed up. Tang kind of sounds like it could be tea as well. Is Amelia learning too? No. She just has to listen to me ramble about Chinese every fucking day.
It just does not spark my interest.
That's the only reason I'm
point
doing it.
Trying to do it if it's not interesting.
Yeah, no. I mean, the only reason I'm doing it is because I find it interesting. I'm learning Mandarin. Thought I forgot my year of Chinese study, but you're reminding me of the basics. Yeah.
I'm sure, like, if I could somehow be in a Latin class again, I'd have some of my memories tickled.
It would be way easier for you.
Yeah.
And it would be super easy for you to pick up the basics of a Romance language that you don't speak as well, because you've got the building blocks of Latin the rules, you know, maybe you don't remember every one of them, but once you got back into it, all the weird rules of Latin Romance languages, you'll learn. The thing that makes Latin, that I remember made Latin hard for me, was the masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
Like how certain words, they have a whole, like, that's a whole layer to their language. It's not just a word for man and woman. Certain words are feminine. And so instead of el, you'll use la in Spanish. And it's, you know, the same in all the Romance languages. Has to do with ending with an A or an I in Spanish. Those will be feminine words, and then O is ending with an O or another vowel is going to be a masculine word. That's what I remember.
I think the person that came up with Latinx was someone that had taken 1 year of Spanish.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they even took that.
They learned that about masculine and feminine. It's like, well, that's not fair.
Yeah. Paul, I'm a McDonald's manager. With your experience at Starbucks, how do you balance politeness and sternness when running a team or handling tough situations? I feel like I'm too nice with my position. Yeah, man, that's tough. It wasn't tough for me, but my dad helped me out with that. He taught me when I was young that if you're the boss, which you are, you're a manager, right? If you're the boss, and people think you are their friend, you're not doing your job. You can't. Now there's a line too. You don't want to be the ultimate hard ass, but I'll tell you how I did it. At Starbucks, it was about a year that I worked there as a normal barista, and then I was elevated to shift supervisor. When that happened, I stopped chilling with most people. I would chill with other shift supervisors and stuff, but chilling with people that were below that, going to like all the parties and stuff, there's no way. I knew there was going to be no way for me to differentiate between the kind of camaraderie and friendship that you feel when you work with somebody and then go party with them, and having to discipline that person. So you have to keep yourself at arm's length. There's nothing wrong with being friendly and having a work environment where people are having a little bit of fun, but they have to know that there's a line. And for me, I was always like, look, guys, I'm not going to be a hard ass with you unless shit's not getting done. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if my next shift supervisor shows up and the store is fucked, I am the one that's on the line for that. I have to make the excuse for why you motherfuckers didn't get your shit done. So if you put me in that position, we're not going to be in a good place. So as long as you're getting your shit done, you want to have a little fun, you want to keep it light, keep it funny. As long as you're not fucking around with customers, you're not doing stuff that's going to get us in trouble, go for it. Right? And that's, I think, the best way to do it. I don't want to have to be a hard ass. And when I'm working with people that I know their job already, it's even worse, bro. You know? And so that's how I ran my shit.
See? Come on. In you go.
Whoa, he's got like a leaf hanging off of his wiener.
Oh.
It's got a wiener leaf. No, people smoked wherever, you know, as long as they were, like, they couldn't wear their apron out there, and you have to take your apron off and go sit and have a smoke if you want.
Leaf has been detached. He's a little piece of Velcro, man.
Bro! Got a wiener leaf, man. Yeah.
You can be pathetic all you want, D. You gotta stay quiet.
You're too loud, bud. Too much barky.
I didn't do a good job blowing the leaves today.
No. I don't think they care. this this position. I used to have to work with a manager who was honestly gung-ho about making changes and keeping people in line. Guy was a psycho. I mean, I don't know, dude. At different levels, you got to be different levels of involved, but, you know.
I'm not supposed to be your bestie.
No. It's just like people, like, they would find out, like, how I operated when they did something that was shitty. So it's like, you know, as long as you're, like I said, as long as you're doing your job, I'm not up your ass. I got my job to do too. But it's like people, being an opener, you have no idea how many times I would show up to open and nobody would show up. And I'm not allowed to go off in my store alone. That's company policy. You gotta be 2 people in there so that somebody can call the cops if need be or whatever the fuck. It's just safety procedure.
So one person's not robbing all the shit.
So I'd be on my cell phone calling somebody at 4:30 in the morning, and then almost every time it would be like, huh? And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be at fucking work. Oh shit, bro. 20 minutes late, pissed off customers. And it's just like, when you do that, you're gonna get it from me, bro. I'm gonna let you know that, like, you know, first time, I'm not going to tell anybody about it because I'm a shift soup. I don't have to get you written up over it. But the next time, bro, you leave me with my dick in the wind, I'm doing my job. Your ass going to get a write-up.
What was your, like, write-up? Was it, like, just 3 strikes you're out, or...
I mean, that's how the company usually works. Once you got to 2, you were on, like, probation, basically, where any little thing, I mean, you had the eye of Sauron on you if you had 2. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I mean, but you got 1 up under you, and, like, for me, you knew you fucked everybody over that morning. You knew you fucked up. You knew I was pissed at you. You knew you better not do it again to me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't hold it over your head for, you know, longer than it needed to be held, but you knew. Who was the most combative employee you had to deal with? Combative people didn't last long, bro. There's no combat. I'm the heavyweight champion. Okay, there's no combat. You get combative, I'll send your ass home. And I was known for that shit too. Like, I was known because I knew how to run on a short shift. If your ass was being worthless and I was having to deal with more of your problems than I was having to deal with the store's problems, I'd just send your ass home. And you'd show up the next time for your next shift with a write-up waiting for you to sign. It's just like... what's considered a short shift? Oh,
you're like short-staffed.
You're talking short-staffed, yeah.
You said short-staffed.
So, like, in the morning, there would be 2 for openers, and then by the time that 6:30 rolled around, my 3rd would come in. So 3 people typically were needed minimum to run the morning rush. That's what they had us running at. If one of those people decided that they were sick and were going to call in 15 minutes before they were supposed to be there, or sleep through it, or no call, no show, then you're running the store with 2 people. You got 1 person up front doing walk-ins. You got 1 person out the side doing drive-through. They're taking the orders and making the orders. Both. That's not ideal. So, but it's better than having somebody that's dragging ass and causing problems. So, no, there ain't no combativeness, bro. You got brolic with me or shitty with me or whatever, I'd send you home and you'd get a write-up, and you get 2 of those and your ass probably gone. I didn't fuck around with it, bro. When I showed up, I didn't want to be there either. But I put on a happy face. I did my job. I did what I was supposed to do. And I expected the same out of my team. Period. Every time. Without exception. As long as you were fucking operating within those limits, You and I were chill. You didn't have no problems with me. In fact, you were probably looking forward to being on a Paul shift because Paul was chill. But if you weren't that type of person, you weren't going to work there for very long. I was going to make sure. I give way less of a shit about your personal problems than I do about mine. And my personal problems when I'm a manager include that I got to make sure this store stays profitable. So your ass is, sorry, I got empathy, but no sympathy. And that's something that like you can't cheat. You can't teach it. You can't teach a good work ethic. You can't. You either feel like you made a commitment and that other people are depending on you to uphold your end of the commitment, or you don't. It's like a light switch. Some people got it, some people don't. And I really think it comes down to how you were raised. I think if you were raised by a helicopter parent that wiped your butt for you and cleaned up after you, made your bed for you, and double checked on you, I think that type of parenting creates people that just have no fucking clue. Oh, no. Aggression was meant with immediate shutdown. You start raising your voice, you start cussing on the line or something, I'd walk right up to you and I'd say, go home. And that'd be it. Go home. And when you came back in for your next shift, you had a write-up waiting for you. Next album should be called No Call, No Show. Yeah. No Call, No Show, bro. That's like the name of Voldemort in the service industry, bro. You just don't do it. It is like it's like it's casting the killing curse, bro. You no call, no show, bro. Everybody's pissed. You start a chain of hatred because everybody that was on shift with you that had to double up their shift to make up for your shit is pissed. Everybody that comes in later and has to pick up the slack for that first shift because it was short is pissed. It starts a chain of hatred and your name gets passed from shift to shift to shift. The fuck happened, man? Why is the store so fucked up? Joey didn't show. Joey no call, no showed. Fuck, man. And that name just gets passed down the line, and now everybody at the store knows that your ass fucked everybody that day. So the social pressure on you next time you show up to sign your fucking write-up, immense, bro. Nobody wants to talk to you. It's the best excuse you heard when that happened, bro. There was a chick one time, and I liked her. She actually she ended up moving on to be a manager. But when she first started, her name was Teddy. She was great. She was like really funny. Everybody liked her, bubbly personality, like really good at doing the customer service thing. But I remember when she first got hired, she was my 6:30 coming in after an open. She calls me at like 6. Oh, Paul. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, Teddy? I got period cramps. And I was like, take some fucking Midol. Come in. I don't know what to tell you. Like, so you're not coming in? I can't do it, man. I was like, all right, well, that's fucked. Yeah, if you aren't in too much pain, start calling some people, because I don't have to. I'm here with 2 fucking people, so I'm not gonna be able to call anybody. So you sound like you're able to speak, so get on the phone. How old was she? She was like, I think at this point she was like 19. She was in college. And I remember that she started the chain of hatred that day, and her name was Mud at the store for like a couple of days. And that she was the type of person that kind of like social pressure, it worked on her, right? She didn't want to have that happen to her again. She didn't want to be the person that ruined everybody's fucking day. So. There's also a matter of goodwill. Most people are willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, but once you start abusing your goodwill, people are going to start hating you. Yeah. Yeah, and then, I mean, there are people that would do that. It's just like I saw a lot of people come and go, bro. People that like outside of the work thing, I might have liked them. You know, yeah, fun guy, funny girl, nice person, fired. Got a chick at my job who calls in all the time and leaves work for everyone. Pressure doesn't work on her. I know what would work on her. A pink slip. Some people just don't give a fuck. And I gotta tell you, dude, around me, those people didn't last a couple shifts. If you didn't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. Bye. Go find somebody else who's gonna pay you to stand around and look confused. Ain't gonna be me. Recently got fired in my place. A guy recently got fired in my place because he called out too many times. The final straw was him releasing his shift 30 minutes before he had to come in. Yeah. Yeah, that shit happens 1 or 2 times and you're fucking gone. Because there are people that will just take advantage of that shit. You know? Yeah. The writing's on the wall. After 2 of those, you're just going to keep doing it. So I would give you the talk. And I would say, look, 1 more of these ever, and you're fired. So you might want to quit. It seems to me like you just can't make it on time. And we can't employ somebody who can't make it on time. So I'm going to let you know the next one of these, don't even bother calling. Because you will be fired. And if I were you, I'd either switch it into gear or quit. If you quit, you can still use this place as a reference. Some of the shit I found people doing when we're leaving them at my job, since we worked solo, I'd constantly catch people snorting lines and shit in the guard shack. What the fuck, bro? Snorting lines of meth? Do you even snort meth? I thought you just smoked it. I've never heard of anybody snorting meth. Is that a thing? I guess it could be.
The answer is always you can. You have to, probably.
Eesh. You can definitely snort it, yeah. I guess I just,
Thought it was too caustic.
well, the shit, like, you know, I was around it when I was younger a lot, and I never saw anybody snorting it. I saw it being smoked. Trump or Harris? Neither. Are you kidding me? I look like a guy that's cheerleading for one of those fucking stuffed suits, bro. You picked the wrong dude. Out of curiosity, do you consider either of the 3 empires, US, China, Russia, to be particularly more egregious than the other 2? Off the top of my head, no. You know, that gets me a lot of ire, I think, politically, because I don't I don't give America a pass, right? I just don't. I don't say, well, yeah, look, America did a good thing here. America helped these people out, sent food, sent supplies, sent refugee relief, took in refugees. All these other places do the same thing. All of these other places, China, Russia, all of these places send financial aid, take in refugees, etc. So it's like, let's set aside the good shit and look at the bad shit. What are the bad shit that these empires do? They aggressively expand into places in the global south. They don't respect the people that are indigenous to those areas. They export misery and war everywhere they lay foot in the name of capital. And they keep the world divided, both ends against the middle, and keep people culturally locked up, so that even at a time when we have the most access to information at any point in human history, people know nothing about one another because they live in different parts of the fucking world. They know nothing about the differences and similarities between their cultures. So like all of that is laid straight at the feet of empire. So I have a strong sense of blue collar through line solidarity. And you have to. You have to, in order to be taken, like, in order for me to take you politically seriously, you'd better have a fucking strong affinity for the fucking middle class and the blue collar worker. Because if you don't, you're working against your own fucking best interest, even if you're a white collar person. You don't get to sit at the big table. So you better take your fellow workers back. 100%. Always. That includes people from other places on the planet. That includes people that they call migrants, immigrants, aliens. Right? Domestically, the three nations are different. Yeah. I mean, all three nations are steeped in their own traditional history, their own cultural representation. Very unique, right? But in terms of how they operate on the global stage, not all that unique. You know, there are people that wouldn't walk with the blue collar people. There are people that wouldn't strike, but those people will happily take the benefits that union membership and union activism has accrued for them. They'll happily take their 40-hour work week, their 5-day work week. They'll take their weekends. They'll take their sick leave. They'll take their maternity leave and paternity leave. They'll happily take, but they never want to give. That is a lack of blue collar solidarity. That's a utter lack of class awareness. Organizing, we can literally save the world. I don't know about that, but we've got a shot at it if we do it the correct way. You know, we don't have a shot at it if we just keep sticking our heads in the sand like ostriches and pretending there's not a problem. God damn. Lord have mercy. Lord have. Wow. We talk about Grimace Gate, bro. Never happened. Fortress Arc. Okay? Fortress Arc. I genuinely believe that there is no more important task than teaching your fellow workers how to get a fair shake out of the boss in the company. Yeah, for sure. You want to change somebody's life and perspective, to teach them to stand up for their rights in the labor space. Teach them what their rights are and what the history of labor activism is. And then send them out to do it. Yep. Remind them that the most valuable commodity that they have is time. There is no more precious thing in your life than time. And employers are looking to purchase your time. And your time is worth money. It's worth way more money than they usually pay you. Because you have no more time to give, right? It's finite.
I think another thing a lot of people overlook is safety. Like, you even overlook safety a lot when you were working.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I broke my body on the wheel. I really did. I'm the type of person that if there's a task that needs to be done, and my body can suffer a little bit in getting it done, I just get it done. And that kind of like indiscriminate treating of my body, the go along to get along mentality, oh, this is a good job, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, busted my whole fucking back, neck, shoulders, arms, wrists. I'm fucked. Yeah, my old age is not gonna be a happy time for me.
And it's hard to teach people like how important that is.
Mm-hmm.
When you're young, you want to be like, I can do it.
You don't know till you know.
I don't need that ladder. I don't need to fucking ask for help.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I should be. This would be a 2 or 3 person lift. I'll get it done, because there's not 2 or 3 people here. I was supposed to go home 3 hours ago, but there's still 3 hours of work done. I'll just get it done, bro, because somebody's got to do it. So, that's what you're not just trading your time, you're trading your health, your body, your well-being, your pain, your anguish, your functions. You don't protect yourself. I got sympathy for you, but I don't know what you're up to. And now I'm at a point, I'm fortunate. I own my own business. I work a job that's not physically demanding, at least not usually. But if I ever had to go back to that, there's just certain fucking things I can't do now. I probably couldn't get hired at the last job I worked. Not just because I don't have the college degree that they now require, but because my body just couldn't fucking do some of the things they were asking me to do. I'm hurt. I'm wounded, right? Yeah. It'll wear you, and they don't care. They will wear you out like a tire. And when you're bald, they'll put you in a fucking pile. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Like, the goal has been to push people to quit. they'd much rather you quit than have them fire you.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like firing. They like you quitting.
No, if they lay you off or fire you, they have to pay workers' compensation.
Or unemployment or whatever.
Unemployment, yeah.
D, D, come here. D,
Come on.
D. Johnny, come here. Johnny, come on. Come on. That kitty cat won't run away from you. A kitty cat knows.
Knows you're a big softy teddy bear thing. They don't care about that loud bark. Don't scare them at all.
Are you out of papers, or are you just...
I'm just gonna try and smoke a little keef. It's been a while since I had myself some keef.
It's not looking great.
What? The bowl?
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of tar on it. But it'll survive. It'll work. Wow. My dog perked his head up. I'm sure he did.
Dinor's a loud boy.
He's louder than shit.
Like, have you ever had one even remotely close to
What-
Dinor?
What, a barker?
Yeah.
I mean, some bigger dogs when I was a kid. We had Golden Retriever, Irish Setter. Those have pretty loud barks, but they're deep.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a piercing bark like Dinor's.
His is supposed to travel.
Yeah.
He's supposed to go fetch something that you shot down and tell you where it's at.
Yes. That is the Dinor. The Dinor case.
You out after this, Keith?
Mm-hmm. About time.
You say nothing.
I don't know. Coon hunting. Yeah, treeing an animal and then baying until you come find them. What are your thoughts on father regained custody after strangling not even 2-year-old child? What are my thoughts on that? The father should never have custody again. That father should never not only have custody of that child, but never have custody of a child, period, again.
There should be another list for violent offenses against children, not just sexual offenses against children.
Isn't there?
I don't think so. I don't think it has the same reporting requirements.
Well, it should. It damn well should. I mean, mandatory reporting doesn't just cover sexual crimes.
I meant like the reporting requirements of like saying like the public reporting, not the reporting of the crime. I mean like how sex offenders have to, tell where they live and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Dios mío, man. This guy looks like Mo Lester. You look like banned as fuck, bitch. Now what? Wow, dude, Mo Lester, bro. Where did he come up with that one?
That's what the nickname was in that show Succession.
Yeah, Mo Lester. Calmer than you are, dude. The woke mind virus. Yeah, dude, the woke mind virus is destroying this nation, okay? I was talking to TJ about it on the show last night. I was like, dude, I am so ready for the culture warriors to find something other than trans people. I am so sick of talking about trans people. No offense to the trans folks, but I'm just absolutely sick of having to take the back of trans people over and over again in the same fucking way against the same stupid, empty brain arguments. I'm ready for you culture warrior retards to get all fucking flipped out about something else. Like back in the fucking 80s, it was AIDS and being gay. In the 90s, it was promiscuity. In the 2000s, it was marrying somebody of the same sex. Now it's trans people. I just can't wait until the dumb fucks pick something else to pretend they care about. Yeah, Mexicans probably going to be next. Rap lyrics or violence in video games is due for another one. It's been a while since we've had those dumbass fucking things brought up. It's just, I'm ready, bro. The trans culture war shit, I am so fucking done, bro. And it's so funny that you can predict that eventually people aren't going to care about. Like, there'll still be people, you'll still see it mentioned, but like the vast majority of the culture war will move on to something else. The war on Christmas. You think they're gonna bring that one back? God, that one was whack, bro. The war on Christmas, bro. What caused the Civil War, in your opinion? So the Civil War was, like a lot of people would just say, slavery, and leave it at that. But that's just not the case. The Civil War was a constitutional crisis. It was a test of the federal system. The idea of an overarching federal government that oversees the union between powerful state governments. So ultimately, if you want to give the broad answer to that question, that's the answer, right? Slavery was one of a number of issues that were raised in terms of, well, how much power and scope does the federal government have to enforce law in a state that has a contrary law, right? And the answer after the Civil War, before the Civil War, the answer was theoretical. Now the answer is the federal government has the ability and the right to raise federal troops and destroy your state. D&D turned my son into a devil worshiper. Bro, is it 1983 again, bro? I remember in the 80s, I think it was like 87, there was a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon where these kids were playing D&D and they get sucked into the fantasy universe or something. And I remember my mom legitimately would not let me watch that because she had read in the news that it was like a secret Satan summoning ritual or some shit. Wild, right? It was pre-Jumanji, bro. This was before, well, maybe not before the book. I know Jumanji was a book before it was a movie, but yeah, definitely before the movie, before most people knew what it was. But it just goes to show you this culture war shit, it just flips. Every 10 years or so, people get tired of being outraged about this, and they just move on to a new outrage. And we're right on the cusp of the trans outrage. I mean, it's already, if you look at it, like the trans, like kind of like trans culture war shit is so much more muted this cycle than it was last cycle. Like the 2020 cycle, trans people were front and center. It was Democrats pretending to support them and Republicans pretending not to support them. And this cycle, hardly a peep. So it's already moving. I think it's honestly the next moral panic outrage thing is going to be, and I'm here for it, honestly. I think it's going to be this celebrity shit. I think it's going to be this, like, who knew Diddy? It's going to be I think it's time for the cleansing. I think that people are going to be digging up dirt on, unfortunately, mostly black people, mostly black entertainers. I think that's the next thing. I don't think it's the borders. I don't think it's the borders. But maybe I'll be wrong. I think the next thing is going to be, I think it's going to be black people, basically is what I'm saying. Going back in the crosshairs again. Under the guise of we are outraged and concerned about the Diddy shit. So I think it's going to be rap music and black culture. I think that's the next culture war target. Dude, you go on Twitter right now, just go like look, and that's all that's going on, bro. The right-wingers on Twitter are having a field day with the, oh, here's a clip of somebody with their arm around Diddy in fucking 1996. Probably a pedo. Oh, here's a person talking about going to a Diddy party and saying it was lit. They probably raped a bunch of people at the party. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Dude, there's wild shit going on. There was like, I saw a post today when I was digging through. It was like, here's a list of celebrities that have deleted all their tweets after the Diddy incident. And like a few of them on there were people that had deleted their Twitters like 6 years ago. Megan Fox was on there. I think it was actually like a news story. She joined Twitter, was on it for a week, and then was like, fuck this is lame, and left. That was like back in like 2012. And so there's just all this crazy misinformation being thrown around. People are just digging. I think it's honestly gonna be rap culture. it's going to be rap culture. It's going to be like drill music. It's going to be like O-Block stuff. It's going to be white people wringing their hands about black violence.
You can see how pro-cop it's gotten.
That's what I mean. That's part of this. That's why I think this surge in pro-police mentality, even amongst the left, we're typically like nominally for controlling the police. Now that's just gone. Now we're just about to elect a cop over there. All of that comes from this white flight fear. The brown person is going to come and take my white stuff. That's what the next culture war is going to be about. It's going to be about rap music. It's going to be about fatherless black homes. It's going to be about black teenage gangsters. It's going to be about violence in black communities. It's going to be about the culture. That's my call. And I think it's already moving over to that. Like I said, that's a way bigger topic this time around, this electoral cycle, than it was in 2020. In 2020, the big culture war thing, 100%. Trans people. Trans people, trans people, trans people. People are getting sick of it. Like, even the people that are, like, hounding it are getting sick of it. You just described Chicago. Yeah. No, I know. I know some trap lord, bro. Yeah, no. I'm not sending you my fucking email address. What kind of weird shit is that? Just ask me here. Why you gotta email me some shit? That's a bot, bro. That's a bot. That's 100% a bot. Bleep bloop. Instagram model profile pic. Hey, give me your email. I'd like to talk to you about something. No. Fuck@you.com. How about that? End times are coming soon. Yeah, dude. Every Christian for the last 2,000 years, bro. Do you have any idea how silly you sound as a Christian when you're like, end times coming soon? Dude, literally every generation of Christians has said that for 2,000 years. The people that wrote the Bible thought Jesus was coming back in their lifetimes. They used to talk about it in terms of like 15 years, 20 years is when he's coming back. Ain't been right yet. Imagine that, like, you're led around by that and you don't see the writing on the wall, dude. Any fucking day now. For 2,000 years, people have been saying the same shit. You better get right, because it's going to happen. I can tell. Now, this time it's different. Any minute now, Jesus going to come. It's like, no. Time to wake the fuck up, bro. Jesus gonna come back though. Someone who never existed is coming back. I know. Explain that one. My theory, Jesus already came back, looked around, and dipped out. You have to imagine he probably would. He'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, this is, you know what? Fuck this. Starting over. New planet. Let's go. We fucked this one up. Hey, white trans men. Oh no, it's fucking Thursday Lane again. I tried to talk to you last time, Thursday Lane. And so now it's just going to be on site with you because you didn't take the time to actually have a talk with me. All you did was engage in your masturbatory fantasy. So you're going to have to do it all night, unfortunately, because he's probably got 30 or 40 of these. But any Thursday Lane shit, just ban it. Thursday's on site up in here. He's going to have to keep changing that account. Are you against capitalism, or at least our current version of it? I'm not implying you are part of any other ideology, just curious. Yeah. I think that capitalism has brought us to the brink of ruining the entirety of our planet. And I think it's going to carry us over that brink. In fact, it might have carried us over that brink 10 or 15 years ago. And we're just slowly cratering. So yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Human beings need to evolve past the monetary ideal. This idea that we have a theoretical fiat currency floating around there that's exchangeable for goods and services and stuff, and that you've got to exchange a bunch of your time to get it, that shit is like strictly medieval thinking. And it's got to be, we've got to evolve past it, or we will crater as a species. Already cratered a huge swath of the planet. Look at how much of the Amazon rainforest has disappeared in the last 30 years. Look at how long it's going to be before the equatorial belt is uninhabitable to human beings, and how many people live on the equatorial belt currently. Spoiler alert, it's 1/3 of the population of humanity lives in the equatorial belt, and if science is right, 15 to 20 years, it's going to be largely uninhabitable due to wet bulb temperature. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got fucking problems, guys. The oceans are dying, acidifying. Large ocean fish have been depleted by over 90%, according to the Fish and Game, the federal Fish and Game officials. Bigger hurricanes, hotter, drier summers, people dying in the streets from heat stroke, pollution, lung diseases are fucking way up because people are just breathing shit box air. You understand? Who's the culprit? Who did it? The answer is capital. You want to find the ultimate villain at the top of it, the answer is the profit motive. The profit motive has driven this whole fucking ecology into the ground, and we're about to be shaken off by fleas, or like fleas on a dog. You know, you don't got to take my word for it. I'm just quoting climatologists. I'm just quoting people whose job it is to study the changes in our climate. And, you know, one thing that I will point out is that their projections have been wrong my whole life. And people go like, oh, see, they've been lower than they should have been. They should have projected much more environmental degradation way faster. They thought it was going to take way longer when I was a kid for the Earth to get to the point it's at now. So when you hear people say that climatologists have been wrong, they're absolutely right. They were way too optimistic in their projections. heard of capitalist realism. Sounds like bullshit to me. Are turtles safe though? What? Yeah. I know this is like a doomerist kind of conversation, but when it goes there, you know. It doesn't do the planet any good for me to sit here and pretend that we've got a better chance than we do. Like, when we are fucked, and you know who's fucked even worse? Your children. If you're a 20-something right now, your children are really going to bear the brunt of this shit. So, but if you're in your 20s, you're going to see a lot of shit, bro. It's going to be absolutely fucking wild. It's going to be buck wild. Every combo with you is a doomer combo. You know, I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry you feel that way. But I see absolutely zero benefit to pie-faced optimism in the face of fucking collapse. Sorry. You know, I have the choice to be able to say whatever the fuck I want. It's one of the freedoms that I hold very dear. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And I don't want to waste my time or yours pretending everything's roses and peaches. It isn't. You look at the fucking climate numbers alone will shake you to your foundations. The amount of species that are disappearing on the fucking weekly off of this planet should raise 5 alarms in every fucking country. It should be DEFCON 1 in every fucking country. It's a mass extinction event. The planet no longer supports life. Uh-oh. What is your recommendation? Put your head between your legs, bend your neck down, and kiss yourself on the ass goodbye. That's my recommendation. Seems like you've given up on life. Really? Does it seem that way to you? The fact that I'm sitting here talking to 144 people, own my own business, sitting out in front of a nice house, seems like I've given up on life. Do you think you might be projecting a little bit with that one? You think that might have been a little bit of projection there? You think maybe you gave up on life? Aren't I preserving life by being honest about what it's facing? Wouldn't you call me a person that is trying to defend life by warning people? Very strange. Very strange. A lot of projection flies out of people in these fucking lives, bro. A lot. I thought you were sitting in your backyard. I am in my backyard. You can't stop consumerism. Oh, you can. Just nobody wants to go through what you would need to do to stop it. It would mean the end of micro-convenience. No. The end of single serving. The end of pointlessness. The end of planned obsolescence. The end of greed and capital accumulation. The end of a human being's expectation that everybody on the planet can live in an air-conditioned, perfect little environment with 10 TVs and 20 cars. You know? Hallelujah. Is that grass, man? Are you smoking grass? Dude, tell me you're in your 40s or 50s without telling me, bro. Are you smoking grass? All in all is all we are. All in all is all we are. That's the Tao. All in all is all we are. That's the, if you sing, all in all is all we are, with all in all is all we are. Sounds great. That's a great harmony. I wish I was like you, easily amused. Find my nest of song. Everything's my fault. I'll take all the blame. Aqua sea from shame. Sunburn, freezer burn. Choking on the ashes of her enemy. In the sun. In the sun, I feel as one. In the sun, in the sun, married, buried, yeah, 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 yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks for recommending The Substance. Yeah, buddy. Wasn't that badass? Just pass it along. Make people go see it, dude. If you know people that are into movies at all, let them know they need to go see that movie, bro. Because it ain't going to be in theaters for long. I'm telling you right now. All in all is all we are. It's another harmony part. There's a 3-part harmony there. All in all is all we are. All in all is all we are. All in all is all we are. You get 3 people singing that, it sounds so beautiful. All and all is all we are. All and all is all we are. All and all is all we are. Try it. Boom, 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 boom. All and all is all we are. smoking a bowl tonight. I didn't feel like doing up a whole ass joint, so we're just smoke a bowl tonight. A bowl or 10. All in all is all we are. Play video games or do tech. You just have a tech chill vibe. I used to do tech. I was a network systems administrator for about 8 years. Now I'm a podcaster, so I guess I still do tech. I get a certain way. I guess you'd still call that tech. So yeah, you nailed me with that. Lonely, I am so lonely. I've got nobody to call my own. Oh. Did I have any relevant experience? Not educationally or like work-wise. I just was a hobbyist. I knew how to build PCs. I knew my way around computers, and that allowed me to get my foot in the door at a job that now requires a networking degree, like a bachelor's in network administration. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, bro. I suffer from nerve damage as well. A number of other ruptured discs, and I'm just fucked. Got a shoulder that's partially dislocated or feels like it all the time. Knees fucking gone. My knees are gone, boy. That's okay though, I'm old. They don't need me to lift things anymore. They got all you young bucks to do that now. You're the youngest of the bucks? How young? How young? Because, it's 32 young. I feel like it's over. Well, let me answer you this, and you know my lore, right? So, how old was I, Jareth, when I started working on a podcast for a living? And conversely, also left my marriage, left behind a home, my job, and started completely from zero, right? How old was I when that happened to me, when I decided to do that? I was 35. Okay. It's been close to 10 years since I decided to make a massive change in my life. To walk away from everything I was building because I wasn't building it for me. And to build a life that was for me. 35. And if you talk to people, you'll talk to people that did it later. You'll talk to people that are, were my age when they did it or older. It's never over till it's over, bro. That's all I have to say about it. Was it worth it? I'm 32. It was the hardest, bravest, and most amazing thing I ever did in my life. I've had more adventures in the last 10 years of my life than I had in the previous 30. I am happier now and more content now. I'll be even more content when the ghetto bird goes away. Go on, ghetto bird. Shoo shoo. I know myself. And it took, look, dude, I built a whole life. I made a lot of mistakes, man. A lot of fucked up mistakes. Is it wrong that I don't know if I'll still want the path I'm going down in 10 years? It's not that I doubt it. It's just that the knowledge that my mind could change or something could happen. I mean, I can't tell you, like, that's the thing, is like, I can't tell you, and neither can you. Worrying too much about your future is only going to bring you misery. It's only going to clench your heart. You have to live in the moment. You have to live for today. Live for the now. Don't live for the 10 years from now, because none of that is promised. I'm building a family and I don't even know if I want it anymore. Fuck, bro. So that's one area that, like, I get the feeling it's like there's a web of determinism, right? And it's like, had I had children, you wouldn't be sitting here watching me. I wouldn't be having this talk with you. I'd still be in that life. I'd still be working at the school district. I'd be even more busted down now. I might be dead. Honestly, to be quite frank with you, I feel like I was walking towards an early grave from stress, heart disease, something. So I'd probably be dead, to be honest with you, had I not done it. But had there been children involved, I don't think I ever would have changed. You know? I don't know. I know people do it. I know it's possible to do it. But I just was not able to have children, and that ended up being like a huge boon in my life, right? A lot of people spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars fighting the type of infertility that I suffer from. Dude, I'm fucking stoked. Well, Abby, I tell you what, fail up. That's the key to life. Fail up. The smartest people in the world fail more than your average fucking person, because they try more. They realize that a failure is a lesson, and they moved up because of it. You fail up. You allow yourself to get mired into, like, because think about it, dude. And this was something that it took me years on the fucking couch to learn, and so I'm oversimplifying it. What good does it do to live in judgment of the things that you've done? Can you answer me that question? I'm not saying don't remember the things that you've done. Of course you learn from things that you've done. But what good does it do you to stand in judgment of yourself for shit that you have done? What does it add to your life? What function does it give you? What wisdom does it provide? You won't be able to answer the question. The answer is zero. The answer is it does nothing. It's a neurosis for you to worry about the things that you've done beyond learning the lessons of those failures, right? You stand in judgment of yourself for something you did 10 years ago, for a failure? Why? To what end? To what benefit are you still torturing yourself for a mistake? No, you didn't ruin your life though, Abby, because look at you. You see what I mean? You learned a hard lesson. You had to touch the bottom to get the top. You didn't ruin your fucking life. If you ruined your life, your ass wouldn't be here talking to me. You'd be in prison or you'd be dead. And even people in prison got a chance to fucking change their life from within and from without. That's your life is ruined when you croak. And then you're not around to fucking judge the ruination. I'm just asking the question. It's not, maybe you have a different answer. It took me years to learn this, right? What good is it for me to stand in judgment of my fucking past other than to learn from it? Everybody's got a long, hard road ahead, dude. Life is a bitch and then you die. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just the truth. Yeah, Green Mile is longer than you think. It's true. And you know what else, too? The Tao, man. That's all I'm going to say. Everything I'm talking about has psychological relevance, right? But it's also the Tao. It's living in a moment, right? Living for the now, not for the future, not for your desire, not for your own self-gratification, just existing now, being present. It's so beautiful. You know? You can run from it. You can judge yourself harshly. You can call yourself a piece of shit if you want. But to what end? What is your hope? That you will shame yourself into not being a piece of shit? That's not how it works. Have you ever shamed a piece of shit into not being a piece of shit? It doesn't work. Better to embrace that you're a piece of shit. Wouldn't it be? Better to judge yourself in the now than judge your past. That person is dead. Dude, that person, I couldn't even step into the shoes of that person. You talk about me 10 years ago. I don't know who that person is anymore. You know? Of course, there's a through line between that person's life and mine. But what that person did has no bearing on me other than the lessons that I've learned from that person. And that's it. You know what? I'm just going to say this. There is a universal source. I'm not saying it's a God. I'm saying maybe it's scientifically explicable, but there is a universal source. Maybe someday we'll understand what that is. But we are all connected to every fucking thing in this universe. When you look up at the sky at night, like I do right now, and I see stars winking at me, I'm made of that shit. I know people tell you that, and it sounds like it's a throwaway, right? It sounds cliche and rote, but it's the truth. This is not you. This is not you. This is you. And if you think about yourself that way, you're going to be a more content person. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the Tao. There's no difference between you and the ground you walk on. In fact, one day you'll return to that ground. Yes, I'm saying Tao. Yeah, they banned cloves. Cloves rip up your lungs, bro. Not to be one of those dudes. But yeah, they banned cloves in California, but my first smoke was a clove cigarette, bro. How would you react if it was proven God does exist? You know, to be honest with you, probably no different than I react now, right? You proving the existence of a God lets me know nothing about that God. Why would my life change one iota just from that, right? I don't mean to go down that road, but it's like, which God? How well do we know him? Is it a deist God that just somehow posited the act of creation and then left us to our own devices? Is it a God that's watching us jerk off in the shower? Somewhere in between that, right? There's so many questions that are posited. That you create more questions by proving God than you create answers, right? This conversation is good. I like this conversation. It's affirming to me to hear this stuff as well, you know, out loud. So, I like this. I like what we're all sharing here right now. I just wanted to say that. You know, this is what I'm looking for. And I don't get it every time I try this. Sometimes it just isn't going to get there. And maybe that's my fault as much as it is your fault. But right now at this moment, I feel like we're talking in a way that's real and human, most of us here. And that's what this is about for me. That's what I'm seeking when I do this. These types of moments and conversations make all of the rest of the bullshit worth it for me. This is what I'm addicted to when it comes to this, right? Streaming, vlogging, or whatever you want to call this bullshit I'm doing, right? Yeah. One thing about my mindset that I remember from 10, 15 years ago is that I was constantly wanting to get back something that I had lost. There's an immense feeling of loss and not growth as I went through my life. Oh, fuck, I used to be able to, oh, fuck, I used to think this. Oh, fuck, I used to want to do this. Oh, fuck. I was always looking back at my past. I used to describe myself as a past-focused person to the extreme. The future was nebulous and frightening. The past was known. I could tread back there. I could go back to the past and rethink that conversation, replay it in my head. Oh, it would have been different if I'd have said this. Would have been different if I would have just fucking not thrown that punch. Would have been different if I would have fucking listened to that teacher. It would have been different. 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 I've lost this. I've lost this. I need to get it back. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to delve through it like it's a library, right? I'm going to flip through it. Boy, that destroyed my whole fucking existence. You talk about my heart being so clenched. literally and figuratively. I was going to die from it. It feels so good to exist back there because it's known. It can't hurt you any more than it already has. The future, oh, the fuck knows what the future has for you. But the past can't hurt you anymore. But I'm telling you, living back there from that perspective, judging your every action, reliving your every cringe moment. Dude, I'm just talking from experience. If this is resonating with you, then listen up. I could have been better. I could have done better. If I would have done this, this would have happened, this would have happened. It's fantasy. That's the problem. The truth is back there. You can't escape the truth. But you can weave whatever you want out of the alternate reality that you create in your head when you become a past-focused person. What does the future look like for you, Paul? It used to be this. Let me give you a visual. Have you ever been in the woods at night? If you haven't, let me explain to you what it's like real quick. Your senses are heightened to the absolute max. Your mind is sharp and focused. Your eyes are blown wide open because every fucking instinct in your body is telling you you are in danger, and there's a reason for that. You're basically naked out there in the fucking dark. I love that feeling, but it's terrifying, right? So that's what the future used to look like to me. Thick woods that you're unfamiliar with in the moonlight, dark, foggy, misty, filled with noises and sounds and portent. Who the fuck knows what's out there? And so my hackles, as they, when a dog is like, "Arr," my hackles were up when I thought about the future. Now, I see a path cutting through those woods, and the path is mutable. I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound rote again. Que sera, sera. That's how I think about the future now. What will be, and there's no need to think about it beyond that. That is how I choose to think about the future, rather than it being this terrifying thing filled with nightmares, filled with death, degradation, disease, dismemberment, decay, and ultimately death. All the D's. The American dream never existed, bro. Let me quote Carlin. It's called the American dream because you gotta be asleep to believe it. The American dream never existed. The American dream was an enticement to a generation of people to accept their lot in life, selling their lives to corporate entities in exchange for little fucking houses and shit that none of them got to keep. It's like a temporary on loan from the bank, and then when your fucking job goes tits up. So the American dream never existed, bro. It could. It could. It just won't. It would require people that have too much to stop having too much. And if you figure out how to make that happen, well, fuck, you might be a genius. Star Trek is a nightmare world. Please don't wish for Star Trek. Bro, why do people idealize Star Trek? It's because it looks comfy. Bro, Star Trek is the death of the individual, the death of privacy, and They're every bit as imperialistic and warlike as we ever were, but on a galactic scale. Why would you wish for Star Trek, bro? This idea that the Star Trek future is some kind of idyllic thing to hope we get, bro, do you know how violent and penetrative the act of discovery is? Right? You remember when fucking Ian Malcolm warned you about that in Jurassic Park? Discovery is a violent and penetrative act. What you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world. No, man. That's not the future to hope for. Why would you ever hope for that future? What form of living is ideal? Why are you searching for the ideal in something that's nebulous? What living is changes from individual to individual, bro. From species to species, from animal to animal within species. Why are you chasing an ideal for something that has no ideal? What is living for you? What is ideal for you? What is ideal for me? Right? Right. Living is the ideal, right? If there is an ideal, your ability to live right now in this moment as you're hearing this is the ideal. And if you live in the present and take things as they come, really learn to accept things as they come, which I'm not claiming I've learned to do that, but I'm trying. I'm closer to it now than I ever have been in my life. And the closer I get to it, the more peace I feel as a person. For me, the ideal form of living for 2 years is traveling around and sleeping in an old minivan, seeing the sights of the U.S., being effectively homeless, but oh so free. Hey, that sounds like the ideal for a lot of people, you know, and your youth spent that way. I'll tell you something, Phoebes, and everybody else that's lived rough. You'll never regret it. Like, you'll never regret the decision to live hard like that and to see those things. It might have been, regrettable things may have happened to you on that journey. I'm sure they did. But I'm telling you, you'll never put that in the man I shouldn't have category when you get older. It just doesn't work that way, you know. How did you fund that life? Not to speak for Phoebes, but she busked. Oh, fuck. I'm high as a kite, bro. When I'm walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. When I meet, I beat my seat, I don't even know why. My girlfriend, she's at the end, she is starting to let me go on, like a blister in the sun. Let me go on. A big hands, I know you're the one. My life is so referential. I love that about me. I'm always saying things and then it'll remind me of a film or a movie and I just have to see it. I have to say it. I have to reference it. And I like that. I gotta let go of these I wish thoughts. You and me both, bro. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. You know, I was talking to you guys about this plan that I had, moved to this little town, and I really tried. Just kept getting stymied, bro. It was like a test. And it took me a while to let go of that. But I let go of it so much quicker than I would have in the past. I would have fucking fumed about that and stayed spinning my wheels in the mud for months in my 20s. For months. Yeah, bud, it's nice to meet you too, bud. How old are you? 44. By the way, those of you talking with Phoebes, go join her channel. She streams. It's just hard for me to have conversations between two people go on in here. I'm not trying to stifle that. Phoebe's got an interesting life. So, yeah, go check out her channel. Subscribe over there. She does these streams. You guys can interact directly with her there. I'm similar. My dad hates that referential aspect of me. Yeah, I think my dad doesn't hate it in me, but he doesn't have it. My dad doesn't connect. See, that's the thing about my dad. He's an enigma to me. I think he probably always will be. I don't understand the old man. As much as I want to, as much as I see myself in him, there are parts of him that I don't understand. He's such a talented musician. But music is not a huge part of his life. Art. You know, he's a talented artist. And he has the genes of artistic talent. It runs in my dad's side of the family. It's not a big part of his life. And I've never understood that about him. Because it is my life. To me, there's nothing in the world worth living for other than experiencing the moment and looking at the beautiful things that we make. Looking at the beautiful output of humanity. What instrument does he play? My dad plays the trumpet, and he's competent on the drum set too. But his true passion was the trumpet, flugelhorn, French horn, and cornet. He used to play in a jazz band. Yeah, jazzy. He was a jazz guy. If I couldn't see beauty in humanity, if I had to see the ugliness of humanity and nothing else, I wouldn't be able to exist without that beauty, without that window, because it lets me know that there's a human being inside of everybody. Some people are fucked up. Some people aren't. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it lets me know I'm part of this species. The term misanthrope, you ever heard that term? Man, I was a misanthrope for most of my life. Oh, I had so much hatred and disappointment for this species. And I can still feel that disappointment, especially. The hatred is gone. The disappointment is there still. But ultimately, if I couldn't take a look at the beauty that comes out of somebody in terms of their artistic output, their music, their art, their speaking ability, their affable nature, all of these are art to me, right? These are people creating something that puts joy into the world, that puts sadness into the world in a way that you have to confront it, right? It's raw human emotion. That's what we are, okay? This who am I shit, the answer is unsatisfying, so stop asking. Who am I? You're a bundle of raw nerves, friend. You are a prefrontal cortex gone fucking wild. You are a bundle of raw nerve and emotion. There. Now, start enjoying your life. That's the human experience, man. Yeah, you're the chimp that knew too much. Literally. The chimp that learned. Okay? You're filled with a bunch of instincts that have no interplay in the world anymore. These manifest as fucking deep anxieties because you feel like you should be doing something and you feel like you're always doing something wrong. You know why that is? Because human beings didn't evolve to sit around on our asses all day and watch fucking Netflix. That's why. I'm not saying you have to stop doing that. Like, do you really want to sit here and do this what am I shit for the rest of your life? There's your answer. You are psychology. You are a bundle of emotional responses to the world. Unsatisfying, right? Not what you thought you were going to find. That's true, Nuggy. You are a nugget. I appreciate your streams, Paul. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, bro. Thank you for participating. It's been chill tonight. It's been chill as fuck tonight. I needed this. I needed one of these to be like this because, dude, the last 4 or 5 of these have been rough, bro. But this one locked in. This is good. You know, this has been good. I think it'll keep being good for a while. I can't be out here all fucking night doing it, but you know what I mean. Well, hold on, Matt. Nothing is satisfying and grand as you want it to be. That's about expectation. When something is both satisfying and grand, it's always surprising. You have to allow yourself the capacity for surprise again. The information age has killed people's capacity for surprise, right? Because we see all this beautiful stuff in harsh fucking 4K right in front of us all the time, right? You have to let go of that. You have to let your sense of wonder, right? The Tao talks about a childlike sense of wonder at parts, right? You'll be supple like a child. That's what it's talking about, right? That like, you know, I have nieces and nephews, and one of the things that I live for is that moment of realization when they see something cool or they learn something amazing, they can't hide it on their face. You lose that. You know, I've said this every stream because it's at the center of my fucking philosophy now. When you get older, your heart dies. That's a quote, right? When we get old, or when you get old, your heart dies. That's a quote from The Breakfast Club, right? It's just a movie. It's a movie that's as profound as you want it to be, right? It's a movie about youth. Many movies are about youth, to be honest with you. It's something that a lot of people chase forever. They chase it because when they had it, they didn't realize they had it. That's the eternal fucking curse of youth, guys. I could sit here and tell you guys that, like, even though you think you're fucked up, if you're in your goddamn fucking 30s or below, you better fucking carpe diem. Seize the day, ladies and gents. Because your body and mind will never be more capable. Your life will never be more elastic. Yeah, youth is wasted on the young. Yeah, very true. That's well, okay. So now we're getting in like I don't mean to like preach the Tao at you guys. I don't want to bore people with it. And I'm really like, look, the Tao that can be spoken is not the true Tao. That's the first fucking stanza of the Tao Te Ching, right? But what you're talking about is desire. And I'm just going to tell you that the Tao says that if you live your life led by your desire, your heart will never unclench like a fist, right? And so what you're talking about is your expectation. Another word for that is your desire. I want this to feel this way. I want this to be this. And you're eternally disappointed, cyclically, because things aren't as good as you wanted them to be. The problem is not the thing. There's beauty there. There's wondrous things for you to see and experience. The problem was your desire for that thing to conform to what you wanted it to be, right? That's all I'll say on the subject. You know, I don't mean to be Mr. Tao preacher every fucking time, but it's very central to my life, and it's becoming more central all the time. I can't help but share that type of shit with you guys. It's changing my perspective. And as my perspective changes, what you guys hear out of me is bound to change, right? I wasn't trying to correct you though, homie, and I'm not trying to like little bro you either. Your life is your own, your perceptions are your own. I'm just telling you how I look at that now. Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm not lording my elder status over you. I'm a dumb fuck. A lot that I don't know, right? Still grappling with secular Paul transitioning into a spiritual man. Me too. See, it's not, it's easy. It's easier for me because I think people think, oh, they think religion, they think God. I don't believe in a God. The Tao is not God. I don't personify the Tao. The Tao is an unknowable, it's called Wu Wei. It's the moment of inaction that precedes every action, right? Can't be named. It doesn't exist to be understood, but it can be observed in your life if you start to look for it, right? The Tao is the moment, and it's here and gone and here and gone and here and gone eternally. So, I mean, I don't know if that helps with the struggle. I'm not a religious person. I'm not gonna fucking look to recruit people into a religion, right? I'm a spiritual person. I have personal beliefs and a personal philosophical outlook that, right. Taoists laughed when they called the Tao God. Yeah, no, I know. To personify the Tao, like it's the first line of the Tao Te Ching, right? The first line. The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be spoken is not the eternal name. It's letting you know that this is not a personification. This is not a God for you to worship. You can't know the mind of the Tao. You can't even know the Tao. You can observe it and live your life in accordance with it. You can't change it. You can't know it. It doesn't have any hopes or dreams for you personally or anything else. So it's not far, it doesn't differ at all from my secularist position, right? I'm still a secular person. I'm still an atheist. I don't believe, well, yeah, Taoism is a dharmic religion, or sometimes called a karmic religion. It's an Eastern religion, so it's in with Buddhism and, well, Theravada Buddhism and Hinduism, Indian Buddhism, and Shintoism, right? These are dharmic or karmic religions. So yes. Is that fly snipping you, D? You snip him back.
Oh, we got another leaf.
Oh boy.
Getting all the leaves.
He's Captain Leaf Wiener right now. Why is your wiener picking up leaf?
They're all sticky. Sticky leaves.
You could be 36 again. What would you do? Well, nothing. See, that's the thing. Here's the thing. I used to think all the time, and this is a part of me that has functionally ended. I used to spend most of my life where I had a moment to sit in peace and quiet. I either spent it running away from that peace and quiet, or going inward and reliving something from my past and saying, oh man, I wish I had done this differently. I can tell you with full honesty, I don't wish that I'd done a fucking thing in my life differently. That part of my expectation is over. I don't judge myself. It's pointless. I learned my lessons, and I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way. And what I realize about myself is that I will continue to. There's a continuity in that. I'm not above it now. I'm not beyond it. But I'm not going to hold myself in judgment for it eternally. And I'm not going to live in the fantasy of, like, if you could go back, what would you do? Nothing. I would hope that if I went back, I would be unaware of my future, and I would do everything exactly the same way and end up sitting right here, right now, at this moment, moving forward. I'm excited about my life. I want my life. I don't want your life. I don't want another life. I like this life. I want it.
You think leaning into determinism helped you with that?
Yes. Yeah, determinism was a huge thing for me to learn about. Hearing about it first in college, and then really like applying it with other atheist folk, talking about it through the lens of the great debate kind of community or whatever. Yeah, determinism was huge for me. It's liberating, right? To know that you're
doing the best that you can pretty much all the time.
Always. Right? Like, there is no right, wrong, up, down, left, right. I mean, you decide what those things are in your life, but
who you are determines how much effort you put forth.
Right. Who you are determines what you've done and what you're going to do about it. So how can you stand in judgment for yourself? When
you're making the best decision you could at the time with the resources you had,
right,
and the knowledge you had.
And it's not an excuse either to be stupid and to continue to not learn. That's the point. Mistakes are life's best teacher. Failure is life's greatest teacher. That's in the Tao. The Tao talks about experience being the greatest teacher. And that is so true, right? I mean, how could it not be? And so if you start looking at your life through that lens, why would you want to change anything? You wouldn't know who you were if you did. You have any thoughts on Shinto? Not many, no. I don't know much about it. I know that it's got some problematic kind of like racial, nationalistic implications. It's a very nationalistic religion. Shinto Buddhism.
I don't think they're trying to recruit you to Shinto.
No, they don't want your ass unless you're a Japanese person by birth. Then they'd be happy to have your ass in Shinto. But it's a very political religion too. That's Japanese politics. The more I learn, the more I don't understand. Japanese politics are odd. Very, very odd, as one might expect, I guess, from a country that was just absolutely shattered by war, had its entire you know, empire torn down in front of it, and then had the people that bested them in battle in a warrior culture, a culture that valued the strength of the Japanese people, to have their backs broken, and then to have that culture just move in and take them over eternally. It created some strange blends of modern democratic process and ancient Buddhist tradition that like really are kind of uniquely backwards. And that's just the surface level of the iceberg that I've looked into. I did a show on Shinzo Abe and just his life. And I don't remember the names of the political parties or whatever, but it was just wild the way that these parties were tied to Shinto Buddhism, and the way that these political parties were just like hand in glove with the corporate. I mean, I know it's that way, but the intricacies of how it works in Japan is just, the more you learn, the less you know. It's what they call Byzantine. Oh, Japan is ultra nationalistic and ultra racist. Only very, very recently, and I'm saying within the last decade, has Japan started to show signs of culturally opening itself up to people moving there out of abject necessity. Because the culture that they've created in Japan, this is the wild thing about Japan. I'm not trying to shit talk Japan or act like I'm a fucking expert on it. So correct me if I'm wrong. Japan has created a work culture that is so grueling that people just don't have time to fuck anymore. And thus, the desire for people to create families has almost disappeared from a couple of generations of the Japanese people. And as a result, their population is just like fucking free falling. And so in the last 10 years, they've opened themselves up to the idea of people traveling to and immigrating to Japan for the purposes of making babies. They want Japanese babies. They need people for their country to exist. But how does a xenophobic culture that has literally worked itself into non-functionality, how do you bounce back from that? How do you undo that without undoing the fabric of your society utterly? You know, Japan is crazy. Oh, it's beyond it's beyond borderline inhumane. Borderline inhumane is what we deal with here in America. Japanese work culture is another layer entirely, bro. Yeah, it would make most Americans who bust their fucking humps blush. It's different kind of work though. There's not as much like hard labor in Japan. There's a lot of technology work, clerical work, high-rise building, kind of like, what do they call it, data entry.
They also built a lot of it on debt.
Oh yeah, massive amounts of debt.
Which is why they can afford to not do the hard labor, resource digging shit.
Right. What is America like? In what way? Like, that's a very broad question. And it's hard for me to answer it because I'm so culturally like inoculated by America. I'm such an American entity. Just look at me, right? Like maybe that would answer your question. A person like me is a dime a dozen here. Individualism is a cult in America, right? If you look at China, China is almost the exact opposite in terms of our culture, right? Collectivism is the Chinese way. The individual is completely and utterly pointless. The collective is what matters. And if you're not serving that collective, right? But in America, it's the exact opposite. It's the polar opposite. It's a cult of individuality to the extreme, right? Where there is very little like cultural cohesion in America. I mean, there's an overarching monoculture that we output that we all share. Like an American's going to be able to talk to an American and, you know, empathize and sympathize on certain things like anybody from a culture would. But it's a very fractious culture because the individual is at the center, right? And in order, you can't be a collectivist individual, right? And so the more like other people you are, the less cultural value you have in America, right? And that can hurt. That's why Americans are very obsessed with the way they look, the way they speak, the way they act, the way they talk, right? What they're interested in is shaped by what they hope other people would want them to be interested in. I mean, this is all very strange and unusual, I'm sure, to somebody outside. Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm in California, lost scout, so I think that should probably answer, oh, Jesus, your question. Wonder if the population dwindles enough in Japan, if it'll take a more active role in populating the land. Oh, yeah. Like I said, they're starting to slowly but surely culturally come to terms with the fact that, like, we keep ourselves shut off like this. We keep this, like, xenophobic element at the front of Japanese culture. We will die. Like, there will be, functionally, somebody else is just going to have to take over. What strain? Dude, honestly, this is a little bit of 3 mix, bro. You know? It's like a little bit out of my bottom grinder chamber. Collects a little bit of everything, a little keef. So it's kind of like, what have I been smoking lately that would be in the grinder? So it's going to be peanut butter breath, or it's going to be a mix of peanut butter breath and gelato cookies. That's what I've been, that's the last like ounce that I ran through the grinder. So there you go. Yeah, just a gang of fire ass weed. Just a bunch of gas, bro. Just a bunch of Cali fucking top shelf gas. Sounds good. It is. Yeah, peanut butter breath. Dude, lately I've been hitting the indica super duper duper hard. You know, I like a little sativa every once in a while, but dude, these straight indicas when you can find them. A lot of indicas are like indica dominant hybrids now. Straight indicas, dude, you can find them straight pure indicas, like peanut butter breath is one, gelato cookies is another one, Granddaddy Perp, OG Kush. You can find these, right? That's my home base right now, bro. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm wanting right now. That's what I'm feeling these days, you know? Blue Rhino, MJ? That's dope. Sorry. Blue Rhino. I'll have to remember that. By the way, enjoy your wrench, MJ. You don't have to do shit. It's just so that I can see you, so you don't accidentally get banned one night, etc., etc., etc. But there is a new spectrum among us. Yeah, cool. I'll try it. I'll try it out. I'm gonna be heading up like for Thanksgiving up to Washington. And I'm hoping, in fact, I know I'm gonna work it out because I'm gonna be there for a while, be there for a whole week. So sometime during that week, I'm gonna get together with Ben and Billy. Billy has said he wants to do a little booth time with me, which would be fucking dope, dude. I'm not gonna hold him to it, but he said he'd take me down to his studio guy and we'd fucking make a couple tracks together. I think it'd be sweet. Just to see how it's done, because I've never done that. And, you know what I mean? And then I'm hoping we can just do a Drunken Peasants episode where I'm like in the studio. And then I'm hoping to go out to dinner and stuff with Ben and Billy. Maybe get a couple drinks and stuff. It's going to be nice to catch up. And I haven't, socialized with, people that weren't my family, for a while. I'm just not a real outgoing person. So it'll be nice to kind of like see all that shit. Like I said, I didn't mention, I'm not trying to hold Billy to that. But if I pay $200, I'll be allowed in the DFF chats again, right? Yes, I'm Spino. I think that's what they were saying last night. Or you can just let me slap you in the face. And I guess Scotty now wants to slap you in the face too. So me and Scotty. TJ said he didn't want to do it. How do you think you'll feel being in the old studio? The studio's moved. So I won't be in the old studio. It's a new studio now. It's a different spot, different place. We don't believe what we're saying, Paul. Huh? Scotty said 100. Well, I'm not gonna quote. I wasn't paying attention to the particulars. That was not my deal. My deal was you couldn't buy your way in. You had to show up to a meetup and have me slap your face. Yeah, Spino got his notice. Everybody else is confused as fuck. Spino's just a troll from our community who got perma on-site banned a long time ago. And now he's trying to buy his way back into the good graces so he can be in the chat again. Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is just stop being obviously Spino. That would be a really good way to do it for free. Don't have money to go to a meetup, but if you find a way to get me there, I'll let you do it on camera even. No, I'm not going to fly you out, bro. That's not the deal. I'm sorry. You're going to have to save up some guap. Oh, no. Oh, no, dude. Duolingo is fucking yelling at me to do my lesson or else my 20-day streak is lost. No! I'm gonna do one, Duo, okay? I will do it before midnight, I promise. That bird. That little bird, dude, he fucking gets mad at you, bro. Like, I'll look at my screen sometimes, and he'll be all red and pissed off, and it's like, practice? It's like, what? The icon changes, basically. So it's wild. He's crazy. Duo is nuts, bro. He acts like he's gonna fucking just blow up at you. You lost a 700-day streak. See, that makes me not want it. I just want to lose my streak now, bro. Yeah, dude. Sometimes Duo looks like he's gonna die. Sometimes you see him giving you this. Like sometimes he'll be like, practice? And you're like, ugh. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna practice. Okay, fine. Fuck it, I'll do it. I'll practice. All right, fuck it. Hold on. I don't even have it on my other phone, but I don't want to lose my streak, so let me download Duolingo on my phone real quick. My other phone. Get my fucking account over here. Yeah, Duolingo. Ploop. Duo took the substance. Oh no, bro. Yeah, I wonder if he gets all spooky at Halloween and shit. If he's gonna start turning into different kind of monsters to threaten me and shit. Already have an account. Hold on. It's not letting me sign in. I'm wondering if it's like open on this phone. If that's the problem. Hold on. Jesus, dude. Hold up. He is so mad right now. Dude, this bird wants me dead right now. Why are you telling me I can't sign in right now? We couldn't log you in. Try signing in later. Like, why? Already have an account. I think it's something like that. Man, Duolingo, why are you doing this to me? You're threatening to cut me off. You're saying it's my last chance. But you're not letting me log in. You gotta let me log in. Yeah, I have an account. I already put my fucking account shit in. There you go. Couldn't log you in. Bullshit. Goddamn bullshit. Still have a couple hours. Hold up. Let me go look. You know what? Now, okay, I can tell you. I can show you why I had to fucking ditch you guys out for like 5 minutes and do a quick Duolingo because I couldn't get it to let me log in on my phone. Why do I have 50 missed calls? 50? Oh, it's just 100% of just like fucking spam calls. Thank goodness for this fucking phone. Dude, let me show you guys this shit, okay? Just give me a sec. I took a picture of this bird because I wanted you to see how fucking the pressure campaign. Okay. What did you learn? It was more, this one was practice. So it's towards the end of one of the lessons. Sometimes I'll have you go back over things that you've missed from previous lessons. So this one was just drilling me on the first lesson. So it was Bing Cafe, Je Cha, hot tea, cold coffee, this is, Zish, all that early shit. So I did really good. I went through it fast. But I wanted to take a quick fucking... I took a picture, but I was like, fuck, how am I going to show him this? Well, now I figured it out. I sent it to my own Twitter so I could pull it up on this phone and show you guys what this fucking bird was doing, bro. Because you don't understand the pressure campaign, okay? It's wild. Look at this bird right here, dude. This was on my home screen. I'm not even fucking joking with you, bro. That's the bird. So you guys understand why I had to go. Duolingo, dude, Duo the bird, that's his name. His name is Duo. He doesn't fuck around, bro. You're gonna do your lesson every day, or Duo, no, Duo, he was about to blow up. Yeah, it made me do my practice today. I was gonna do it before midnight. You know, I don't miss it. I haven't missed it. I've been doing it for 20 days. It's an easy way for me to track. That's how much Chinese or how much Mandarin I've learned. I've learned 21 days worth of Mandarin. I do at least, like, I'll probably go back and do 2 or 3 more I do at least 2 or 3 a day. I try and do my 10 minutes a day of deliberate practice on, Chinese. I bet you Duo has Tagalog. I bet he does. Or Tagalog. Nope. Yo, Paul, I'm currently at Yosemite. I'm going to go hiking tomorrow. Any recommendations? Bridal Falls is beautiful. It's not much of a hike. If you really want to challenge yourself, you can go up the back slope of Half Dome. That's probably the toughest hike. I did that in my younger years. I don't know that I'd be able to fucking do it now. Maybe. But yeah. Yosemite, dude. No, Yosemite. I need pissed off bird to keep me on. Well, I'm telling you, Duolingo will fucking threaten you. It'll tell you shit about yourself too. It'll be like, look, you're not committed, are you? And you'd be like, what? What, Duo? I'm committed. Well, why haven't you practiced today? Like, okay, all right, I'm not all that committed. Well, you're a bitch then. What did you say to me? He's a mean little guy, but he keeps you on track. Yosemite is how I say it now. Oh, man. That's terrible. It's Yosemite is how you're supposed to say it. I know it doesn't look that, but it's it's an Indian word. It's a Miwok Indian word. Means, I don't remember what it means, but it's Yosemite. 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 Oh, that's right. He did say Yosemite. 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 Man, we're fucked, bro. Never mind. No, we're not. Ultimately, nobody's fucked. Because if everybody's fucked, nobody is. Isn't that great? We're all just living our lives. Wow. Oh, man. Holy shit. Oh, D. Oh, that's better. There's a ghost. Oh, that sucks. Well, you should tell it to get to Golic. You had a homemade gravity bong. I did. Have you ever hit? Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, sir. That, however, was a really dumb question to come back to. So, I'll see you later.